Um, Wonderful. Thank you, Frankie, for doing that. As I said, I can't believe it's been a month. And every session that we have had in the past, I've learned a lot from you. And I've learned a lot about myself as well, and from all the lessons that we put together. So I'm excited. And I know this session is a little bit different than we had in the past, because this session is about you, my dear friend. And before we move on, I want to say thank you to GST. GST has been part of my life for the last at least 2.5 years. And since I joined, I have learned so much in how to present myself, how to communicate my message clearly and effectively, how I can become more comfortable sitting right here, looking at the camera, talking to the camera. GST has helped me tremendously grow in my ability to communicate clearly and effectively as a person. Also has helped me improve as a person, as a coach. And I have met tremendous people in GST, such as our dear friend Andrew, Lisa Marie, Andrea, and many more to mention, and especially you, my dear friend Frankie. And to the coaches, new coaches who joined recently, I personally welcome you to GST, and I look forward in learning from you as well. As I have said, this event has a little special twist. This event is about really getting to know a dear friend of mine, Frankie Kington. Frankie also has been a member for GST for a long, long time. And all through the years, one thing that I've learned about Frankie is that he has amazing love and passion and to see the youth thrive and succeed in their life. And we will hear his story, his upbringing, and how he's presently helping the present youth, and also what his big picture and dreams for himself as a coach. Having said this, please help me welcome our dear good friend, Frankie Kingston. Frankie, my dear friend, I look forward in hearing your story.
Thank you so much, Jomer. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And not just a great introduction, you really introduced all the amazing people in our global speakers talk, platform, always working behind the scenes to make this global speakers young forum for adults, workshop really work for me and Jomer Deleon. So them people, as Jomer mentioned, you know who they are. Thank you so much for what you do. And thank you so much for making this live workshop happen every month for me and Jomer Deleon, which we really value. And my dear friend Jomer Deleon could put it any better about us really inspiring the youth and the next generation. So I'm Frankie Kington, an entrepreneur and thought leader. And as Jomer Deleon put it, he couldn't have put it any better. And I'm really passionate about helping our young adults to be the entrepreneurs or thought leaders, or just to be successful in society, and really give them the tools and expertise and the knowledge, and give them that power as well to believe in themselves, that they can fulfill their dreams and really make a difference in society. With my dear friend Jomer Deleon, through our experiences of being successful entrepreneurs, we want to share our wisdom and our knowledge with the audience, GST Global, and with the people watching as well, especially young adults, on how they can achieve that, and give them some of our experience, how we've learned to do that with our lives in society, and how we've transformed and changed our lives. And they're going to share that story. Is that right, Jomer Deleon?
Yes, sir. Let's start with this. Give us an overview of your upbringing and specific memories as a child. I would love to hear stories about your upbringing, and I'm sure our friend as well.
Thank you, Jomer. What's a very interesting question. So I'm going to give it my best answer and my honest answer. Growing up as a youth, I was born in the United Kingdom in a city called Manchester. I was born in 1969, and it was a great year, not just for Manchester, but the UK and the world as a whole, because I was born. And the fact that I was born, I reckon that I created a lot of values, not just for my own life, but created a lot of values in the world, and hopefully give a lot of joy to a lot of people around me. So I was born in Gorton, and then I moved to Ardwick Green. I lived in Ardwick Green in Manchester for about 11 to 12 years. And they're really happy, fond childhood memories. I come from a very strong background, very strong family ties, very close-knit family with my mum, my dad, my brother, and my sister. We were very close. And growing up, I got myself into trouble. I misbehaved at school. But that's what young kids do. So I see myself as fit and healthy. Probably not healthy in different ways because I made some wrong mistakes in my life, and I'll share them with you. But I was very proud of my upbringing because my mum and dad were very, very strong characters, were very, very career-minded people. And nobody can bring up a family. Nobody gets a family manual to bring up a family. But my mum and my dad brought us up to the best of their ability. And I didn't have to ask for anything from my mum and dad. Everything what I needed, they provided me with it. And that really helped me to be the person that I am today. So I really want to understand that my mum and my dad were real role models. And they were real role models for my life. And you'll hear that as I'm going on in this workshop. And my brother and my sister was very close to them, even though at times we used to mess about and probably wind each other up and push each other and push buttons. And I'm going to explain about that later on. But yes, Jomer, my family upbringing, very close, very supportive family, very understanding family, very caring, yeah. And they had the principles and the morals right for a family structure and bringing up family and bringing up kids. And that's something what's been instilled in my life growing up. So that's a little bit about me growing up in Manchester in 1969, Jomer.
Isn't it so beautiful when the influence, positive influence of our parents in our lives, how they create that character, that, as you have said, the way they raise you, the value that you learned from your parents, you still carry up to this day. And I think that's the very powerful influence of parents to the youth. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I really like that a lot. And I know in the past we have talked about also you were bullied growing up. Is that, did I remember correctly?
That's right, Jomer. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bullied growing up. Yes, he was right, and I'll touch on that. So yeah, Jomer, I was bullied growing up. And as you can see, I'm a black male. So in 1969, there's a lot of problems with racism and people's colour. So from the age of, say, 1 up to the age of, say, 10 to 11, I never really experienced a lot of racism from people's mouths. But I remember one time I experienced really bad racism. And so we'll talk about the bullying, and then we'll go into the racism. And for you, artists, are they both linked? So sometimes you can be bullied because of the colour of your skin, or people feel you don't fit in or you're different. And I think it's really important that when you're being bullied, somebody needs to know, whether it's your parents, whether it's your teacher at school, or whether it's your friends. Somebody needs to know about you being bullied. That's the first step you need to take. What I found with the second step I need to take, if the bullying persists, you need to get real strong advice from somebody who can help you deal with the bullying. So with my father, he was a real great guy, had his own business. He was very, very level-headed. He was a very independent man, young man at the time, and somebody really looked up to. He told me as well about self-defense, and sometimes self-defense where you can stand up to that person. I can explain to that person not to bully me. You cannot do that. And let him know you're going to report it to a teacher or somebody that you're bullying you. And sometimes it may be you have to go down the route, ladies and gentlemen, and audience, where it doesn't stop. So you've got to think, well, what's plan B? And sometimes we don't want to get ourselves into trouble, but at a young age, sometimes we've got to defend ourselves. And at that time when I was growing up, my father, as that father figure and that father role model, told me, if nothing else is working, always defend yourself. Always speak up. And sometimes it may be that you might get into an argument, or you could get into a fight, you could get into a scuffle. Sometimes that's what happened. But usually when I was growing up, once you had that respect and discipline, and it might mean that you might have a little bit of a scuffle or a fight, that respect is there. And what I found with that respect, then people don't bully you again. So make sure you take 3 concrete actions and act on them positively. And usually it will solve the problem. But make sure you're taking action, and people need to know about you being bullied. Another time I was being bullied as well, Jomer, was outside my house, just playing. There's loads of toys because my mum and dad always bought me what I wanted when I was growing up. And my brothers and sisters as well. We had toys. I was playing with my toys outside of my front house, which was like a fort Coverdale of flats where we used to live. There's about 100 flats on where I used to live in Albert Green. And I used to play in the front on the first floor veranda. And one of the neighbours come out with his son, and it was Kennedy's son. He was just walking, and he turned round and he said, "Call that guy a gollywog." And I thought, why did you tell him that? He said, "Call him a gollywog." And I thought, well, it didn't sound right. So after the guy went to the kind of stop playing, I kind of went into my house, and I said to him, Mum, I said, "Mum, what's a gollywog?" And she said, "Well, a gollywog is one of the black nickel men on the jam jar at the time, which they used to have on the jam jar on strawberry jam. And it was black man, it had a big bushy hair, and he called it a gollywog." And my mum said, "Why are you asking me that, son? Why are you asking me that?" He said, "Someone's just called it me, mum." And she went, "Well, that's not very nice. That's not very offensive. I'll have to go and speak to him." So when my mum told me that, he shouldn't be calling you that, that's offensive, I got really upset. So I realised that was another form of me being bullied. But my mum and my dad acted on it to make sure it didn't happen again, and it didn't. And from that time, I realised something was different about my life, that people will pick on me because of the colour of my skin. So it really, really resonated, stayed with me, even though I'm 54 now, and I'm going back now at least about 40 odd years. And, that really, it upset me. And to realise that, people see me as different or don't fit in. So I hope that answers your question, Jomer, about times when I've been bullied and how I've reacted to it and dealt with it. And remember, it's always about speaking about your experience and telling people what's happened. And maybe it can be addressed with the neighbour or with the person who's picking on you. So I just thought I'd share that with you, live audience and people. Thank you.
Thank you, Frankie. Again, I'm feel sorry that you had to go through that experience being bullied and also racism. Both of them are very, very unfortunate experience for everyone to go through that. Thank you for sharing the 3 key lessons that are very useful to make sure to, first and foremost, to make sure to let other people know, people you trust, such as your parents, teachers, and coaches and whatnot. And if need be, it's just like what you said, if need be, confront those people to let them know that you don't appreciate what they're doing to you. And I remember growing up as well, just to tag on to what you said a little bit growing up, my dad taught me a little bit of martial arts. And I remember he told me, he says, "I'm teaching you this for the purpose of, if ever someone do try to harm you, you know how to protect yourself. But I'm not teaching you this for the purpose of you harming someone else. And that is the first thing that he taught me. He said, remember this, I'm teaching you martial arts for the purpose of so you can protect yourself, not for the purpose of hurting someone else. And then
it's self-discipline as well, isn't it, Jomer? A self-discipline for your life. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Again, I'm learning so much about you, and I'm so glad we're having this conversation. And I'm sure a lot of our friends who are watching, who are with us right now, and who will be watching this later, they too will learn a lot about our good friend Frankie. Now, Frankie, can you give us one or two key lessons that you learned growing up as a child, that every time you look back in your childhood, that these lessons always comes up, that yeah, these are the two lessons I definitely learned when I was growing up?
I would say, Jomer, because it's another very good question. I would say when you're growing up, always listen to your parents, especially when you know your parents are role models for your life and they come from a background of career-minded. Maybe they're in business. My parents always worked, and they worked hard. Sometimes my mum had 2 jobs. My dad had his own business. He had a taxi rank business. And they were very career-minded people because they knew they had to look after their family, their children. Always listen to your parents. I honestly believe that a kid, when he's healthy, he will go out and play. But when he's going out and playing, he will go out and get himself in trouble. And when I mean trouble, it might be that you might just have a fall, or you might have an accident, or you could be in trouble. But always remember to be around your friends. Never go out on your own in case you're in trouble. Somebody's there to help you, or make that call, or run and get some help. One incident when I was growing up, Jomer, I used to play a lot in the park. And there was a big metal slab in there because he was doing some work around there on the flats and the houses. And there was a big metal slab. And it had a big concrete bar in the middle of this slab. And I bent it back and I bent it over, thinking I was being clever. And I thought, oh, I'll stand on it. And what happened, Jomer? I slipped off this bar and it smacked me straight in the face. So the blood was pouring out of my nose, out of my face. I fell on the floor. I was crying. Everyone was panicking. I better go and get some help. So my friend ran to get some help. My mum was wondering, where's Frankie? He's not back. He's late. Where is he? She'd come out the back of our veranda, what we had in our flat. She was looking for me. And I was there covered in blood. And one of my friends shouted up to my mum, Frankie's hurt himself, Venice. He's really hurt himself. She came down and we come down running to my attention. I got blood all over me. They picked me up and they carried me home and got me help from the ambulance or the services. Now, without them friends around me, anything could have happened to me. I might be covered there in blood and lay there and nobody come to help me. So I think it's really important to be aware and be careful. And when you're playing out, not to think that you're Superman and you can do anything and you can't have any accidents. So I learned that very quickly. And my friends were very supportive. So always be careful playing out. But I honestly believe that when you're healthy, you're going to have accidents. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to have scars and bruises. You may sprain your ankle. You may cut yourself. I've done that. So it's a sign of your health. But always be around your friends, no matter what you're doing, in case anything happens or you get injured.
So I want to make sure I heard those two major powerful story lessons and stories. One is that pay attention, listen to the parents' guidance. And then 2, have the right friends be part of your life. Is that pretty much the 2 things? Did I get those 2 right, Frankie?
I would definitely say that, Jomer. Yeah, they are the 2 things. Because if you're in danger, or you may have come in late because you remember your parents set the boundaries, Sometimes you might not come home in time, so something may have happened. So always be around them people which care about you or your friends with you, because things happen and people need to know stuff so they can go and get help. To never be stranded or be on your own.
Nice. Great lessons. Great lessons indeed they are. Now, let's move on to let's bring it up a little bit more to present time. What is it about life coaching and mentoring that you find great satisfaction and you find it very rewarding? You know, what is it
Another,
about you? Yeah, please.
another great question, Jomer. Thank you so much. Another great question. So I'm a mentor and coach. I love mentoring. I love coaching. I've done loads of mentoring all my life, and coaching, I'm really growing and developing into that. And it's such a rewarding and lucrative career. Remember that. It's a win-win situation for everybody. And it's about a relationship what you form with another person to help transform and change their life. Think of when you're growing up. Think of when, like I was just saying to John, when you're younger, you're growing up. Think of other people who've mentored and coached you. Excuse me. Think of other people who've mentored and coached you. Your mom, your dad, even your brothers or your sisters, even your enemies. They can be good mentors and coaches for you. So what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, you can learn so much from so many people around you, especially the people who are closest to you. Even your enemies can teach you something as well. And remember to always keep them near as well, because you can learn something about them. So the mentoring and the coaching industry is incredible because you're learning to transform or change something in another person's life. What I've learned as I'm getting older, the art of being a mature man or a mature woman is to ask for help, is to get support, because you have qualities in your life that sometimes you cannot see, but another person can see it and he wants to draw it out of you. So I think it's really important, yeah, to have the courage to ask for help and ask for courage to ask for somebody who has more life experience than you, because you can learn so much from your own life through this person. So mentoring and coaching shows your intelligence, shows you I want to be educated, shows that you want to learn from somebody who has more life experience than you. Plus, it's very rewarding. And I usually find the mentors and the coaches, they're usually the ones who are very, very successful, or maybe walking on the stage, or maybe encouraging or helping other people. They're people of wisdom, courage, and compassion. And we need this in society. We need empathy as well. And coaching is a very, very spiritual, rewarding journey for you all. It teaches you so much about you, so much about the mentee or the coachee that you're coaching. It's a two-way relationship. And it's really important that you both win in this relationship to form a very, very positive outcome for both of you. So it's a business of the 21st century, Jomer, mentoring coaching. It's such a vast experience and a vast knowledge of mentoring coaching. It's so vast. There's so much capacity for you to learn, grow and develop and help somebody change something in their lives. And knowing the rewards are going to be very high for you as being paid, helping somebody change their life and coaching somebody to be that better person. And in the long run, they'll always remember you for it and probably come back to you when they need help and support. That's rewarding. And who knows what else they're going to do for you. So remember, it's a real skill to really help people and really reach out to people who need your help and support. And that's what I do with young people, because I was a young guy and I realised that a lot of times I probably didn't have support. But what I've learned is the mentors and coaches along my journey in life have really helped me be the person I am today. So understand the mentors and coaches and what it can do for you and the industry, and embrace it and just release, unleash it in your life, I should say, yeah, rather than release it, unleash it in your life, your hidden qualities and virtues and amazing gifts that you have.
Thanks, Frankie. So it sounds like a big part of coaching and mentoring. It's a big part of your life because you yourself clearly understand in your upbringing the value of having a coach and a mentor. I think that's part of this, what I've heard from what you said. So you're coming, when you coach the youth, you're coming really not just for skills that you have, but rather the experience that you went through, plus the skills that you have learned in helping the youth.
Exactly, Jomer. You know, nobody wants to feel patronized. Nobody wants to feel talked down to. And I think it's important, Jomer, that when you meet somebody in a relationship, whether it's mentoring, coaching, you're on that same level. You meet them at the same level to say, look, I've been through this experience. I've experienced it. So I can only share it with you through my experience and how I've transformed it in my life to see if it can help you. So mentoring is about helping somebody get to where they need to be. Coaching is about not giving them the answers, but coaching them to reveal the quality answers in their own life and reveal their destiny for them.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I know we have a lot of coaches, and that's one of the beauty of our group, the GST group. Every time we have an event, you have dozens of coaches, and each individual bring their own uniqueness, bring their own style. And I enjoy listening and learning for every single one of them. But just in case we have members who are considering in becoming a coach. I know this is not part of my question, but since we're in this topic, what would you suggest to that one individual who's probably considering, you know what, I think that is something I would like to do?
Another great question, Jomer. I knew it would be. So I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability, Jomer. Just one person a year, if you can transform and change the life of just one person a year, that's a victory. Remember that, that's a victory. That one person can make so much difference to your life, plus you can make so much difference to that person's life. And you can both make a difference to each other's life. It's a win-win situation. That one person, yeah, what I would say to him, if he wants to go into mental culture, if he wants to go into business, is follow his dreams. Remember, when we're young and we're kids, we all have dreams, don't we? We dream all the time. I dream to be a fireman, I dream to be a policeman, I dream to be even a superhero. Whatever you want to dream, we all have dreams as kids. And I think it's really important to follow your dreams as kids. Me, I have a dynamic dream formula, which I use to transform the life of youth. Through development, relationships, education, association, and motivation. That's my acronym, my formula. I honestly believe that young adults should have a mission statement or a vow, or even a visualization or a goal that they want to achieve in their life. They could plan this for the next 20 years, but they write it down on a vision board, what they want to do in their life. And just write it down. You don't have to put it detail. Just write down something what you'd like to be in your life. And remember, the first step is always the important step, then you act on it. And remember, if this vision or if this goal is determination, what you put down on this board doesn't frighten you, it's not big enough. It needs to be something that's really going to challenge you and make you grow and expand your life and test you, push you out of your comfort zone, out of your limits, for you to be this great person, which I know you are. And that's what I do. I encourage you to see the greatness in their lives. So set a massive vision, a mission statement, a goal for your life. If it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So remember, set it and take that first action. That is the first step for you to be successful in whatever it is you want to do. I hope that helps, somebody. Is that okay?
Thanks, my dear friend, for yes, very, very much so. Since you mentioned DREAM, which is an acronym for your amazing program, let's dive into that. Let's dig in a little bit more about the program that you use to help the youth to live a healthy and productive lifestyle. So for the next few minutes or so, why don't you go ahead and help introduce us to your program called DREAM?
Thank you, Jomer. Well, I'll do that for you, ladies and gentlemen, audience and youth. So, D stands for self or personal development. And what that means, how are you developing yourself? Are you reading a book every week? Are you doing your courses? Are you learning from the best? Are you watching audios or videos? How are you doing your self-development? But it needs to be consistent. You need to have this ruthless consistency. And I believe that's what everybody needs in their life for them to be better people. Relationships, which stands for R. How many relationships do we have in our life? Starting with our family. The most valuable and special relationships with our family, our mom, our dad, and our siblings, our brother and sister. We know that forming positive relationships with our family, we have a positive family outcome. And that helps us in society because everything reflects on what we do at home into society. So we all know about relationships, which we have to have in our lives. And then E, education. We've got to be educated. Most of our time in our life, we have to be educated. We go to school, which is about education, passing exams and learning. And some people even go back into education and do college or university, which is really important. So that education gives us the knowledge and the power to be successful in society. And when we're educating ourselves, we're learning very quickly. So we all need education, which is really important. And plus these letters, I do it every day in my life, so I can share it with you. And I know it's helped me and transform my life. And then we have A for association. We have all different associations. Football Association, American Football Association. We have a Basketball Association. We have Netball Association. We have Tennis Association. We have all different associations. Well, if we associate with this group, they're going to help us succeed in our chosen profession. So if I'm an entrepreneur, my association is going networking with people who are entrepreneurs and life coaches like me. So association is really important. And that's what you have to do for you to be successful. You've got to associate and mix with the right people. So I can teach you that as well. Motivation. We all need motivating. As I said to Jomer, name me 8 things in the morning that motivate you to get up in the morning. We all need motivation no matter what stage we are in our lives. We have to be motivated. If we're not motivated, it's hard for us to succeed or do anything. Especially if we want to be these really outstanding people, helping so many people with their lives. We have to have motivation. So what is that motivation to you? Is it exercise? Is it meditation? Is it studying? Is it encouragement? Is it affirmations? Is it quotes? How do you get motivated in your life on a daily basis? What are you doing regularly and consistently? Because that's what the G formula is about, doing things regularly, consistently, and persisting and learning and growing as you go along. And I do my mentoring coaching programs, and I do workshops and presentations around this. So anybody really interested in motivation, I actually do an online presentation workshop as a gift around motivation. So if anybody's interested in seeing that, I'd love to share that with you. Motivation, we need it for our lives. We need to be motivated every single day. This is what transforms our life. So that's the G formula there, Jomer.
Thank you, Frankie. I really like that. It's easy to remember. just remember the word dream. And I like each letter what it stands for. And again, I can relate to every single one of them. I do understand the importance of personal development. I know that that is one thing I personally embrace. As a person, as a coach, I know that if I stop developing myself, it will affect how I coach and how I help other people. So personal development is something I continue to pursue in my life. Relationship are so vital, as you said. Relationships are all over us, all around us, from families, from friends. So having a healthy relationship help us to have a healthy, productive lifestyle. Education, right? Continue learning, continue growing, kind of connected to the development part, and having the right group, which is having the right association, also enhance our healthy living as well. And the last one, you say the motivation, as some people will call it, the big mo.
I like that.
And I find that sometimes motivation can be very difficult. Sometimes we feel like I don't feel motivated, right? I don't feel the drive, but yet it's so crucial to fight. That's one thing I've learned. If you don't mind me, let me add something about motivation. I know that for me, that one thing I have to fight in a daily, consistent basis is to fight for motivation. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I feel unmotivated, and then there's some phrases that I repeat when I feel that way when I wake up. And one of them is get up and grind, get up and grind. So I repeat that
Wow.
until I can feel the energy and really feel it. Or sometimes when I feel unmotivated, I say, lean into life, push through it, you know?
I love
So
that, Jomer. I love that.
those two phrases get my motivation, kind of like motivation level go up. And then what I do is I jump straight to the shower and take cold shower.
Wow.
That will definitely,
That's great.
that will definitely get my motivation up.
Very positive, that, Jomer. Yeah, I love that. I might need to do that.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I thought I'd share those, a little bit of side information on what I do and how I kind of bring about my motivation when I have those days where like, one of those days again.
Wow, I'm going to learn something from you there as well, Jomer. I'm going to take that away and do that. Yeah, I might try that one.
but yeah, thank you for sharing your program. I really love it, and I can see how specifically will help the youth if they learn to understand, to learn to develop themselves, that it is their responsibility to challenge themselves to grow, to help them understand that having healthy relationship is so vital in their life, in how continual education is crucial component in living a healthy, productive lifestyle, and the people they associate with, how that will possibly also impact their lives. And the last one is to find that drive, the passion to live a life that is full and joyful. So great job creating this wonderful program that you have, my friend. I love it.
Thank you so much, Jomer. I think it's really important that everything follows on.
Yeah,
So if
I
you
love
do
it.
self-development, you build your relationships, you build your education, and you
Yes,
become sociable, and then you get motivated to take
exactly.
real big actions.
I love
Follow
it.
that steps. Yeah.
I love how the system, it builds one after the other. So great job, Frankie. Now I'm trying to say this. If you, I might have asked this earlier, but I think it's so important to, if I have, I'm going to repeat it again. I think it's so important to ask you. And if I haven't, great. This is how I'm going to ask it to you. Imagine yourself right? You need to close your eyes, close your eyes. You imagine yourself, you have been given a platform. You're standing in this platform, and you're in front of you are and I literally all the youth in the world. And there you are, you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to communicate a message that, from your point of view, will transform their lives for the better. What is your 30-second message standing right in front of all the youth in the entire world? What is that message?
Yeah. Right. Thank you again, Jomer. Wow. I'm being pushed now to the limit by Jomer, my dear friend. Another great question. So I'm going to find a great answer for you, audience, and it's coming from my heart as well. Youth have a mission statement. Write it down on the board. Yeah. Next thing, yeah. Live true to who you are. Live true to yourself and be true to who you are. Remember, lions walk alone. Sheep or cubs follow sheep. The sheep follow the other sheep. So remember, to stand alone, stand big. The lion's roar is very powerful. So roar that lion's roar. Be individual, be independent, stand on your own, be firm to your mission. Understand your life chapters and life transitions in your life and learn and grow from them. Everything is a learning experience. Learn from them. It will build your character, your strength, and your charisma as a person who you are. Then you can live up to your dream. And remember, always ask for help. But remember, if you have goals and determinations, make sure them goals and determinations scare you and frighten you. And the reason why I said that is that's why you need to ask for help, because there may be people on your journey who want to help you get to where you need to go. So ask for help, dream big, be true to yourself, look after yourself, and reveal your true qualities and inner potential, and stand tall. Be courageous. Trust
Nice.
yourself. Trust the process.
Love it. Thank you. Mission statement: be true to yourself, ask for help, stand tall.
Exactly.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. And again, I'm just looking back in my own when I was youth, how my life would be different if I would have had a coach like you and shared this with me. Because I know for a fact that when I was in my youth, no one shared these with me. No one told me that, hey, Jomer, you're not too young to develop your life mission statement or life journey statement. No one had told me that find your uniqueness and let that uniqueness shine. No one mentioned that to me. No one guided me through that. I'm just trying to picture right now, how would my life be different? I would think I would have accomplished more if someone would have said, okay, Jomer, you're in high school. Now I want you to create your life mission statement moving forward. That would provided a greater clarity, and that would have helped me took the proper steps as well moving forward. I think that's the beauty of having a mission statement. It creates a clarity, and then by having clarity, then you can systematically create steps in how to get there instead of kind of wandering around And then even though they're wandering around, we learn lessons from them, obviously. But it's just that when you have a mission statement, it just create a clearer view, and it makes the journey a little bit more easier and smoother. Yeah, so I definitely see that benefit.
Awful.
So again, great message. If that opportunity is given to you, and I'm sure you will have that opportunity down the road. If not, you already have it as you coach the people that you're working with right now. This has been fun. I've learned a lot about you growing up. I've learned about your program. Yeah, it just excites me more to continue to work with you because there's more about you that I can learn. And this is, I'm glad we have this platform where we can converse, share ideas, share our thoughts, and at the same time try to reach out to youth and young adults and how can they live a healthy and productive lifestyle. What is your last statement before we close, my dear friend?
My last statement is, are you listening to this, Jomer? Because you've asked some amazing questions, so I know you're a man of life experience as well. I can see that, I can feel that, I'm sure the audience know that as well. My last statement is, have a statement for the purpose in your life. I want to inspire 1 million entrepreneurs over the next 20 to 30 years. That's still around, but I'm getting the goal moving in motion to inspire them to be the next thought leaders and entrepreneurs in the UK, if not in the world. I want to state, that's my statement. I want to inspire as many youth to believe and follow their dreams. And that's what I did from such a young age. But the fact I have two great parents standing beside me, they taught me about the values of doing that and believing in myself. So have your statement ready. Have a massive statement and share it with as many people as you can. Because you never know who's listening to that statement. They might want to come and help you. They might want to come on your journey. And you can all grow together and achieve something rewarding. And you might help them find a mission or a statement for their lives. That's what we do as mentors and coaches. So live up to that statement and never be scared or frightened to do anything in your life. You are amazing people. That's why we have mentors and coaches like myself and Jomer Deleon, bringing that out of people to show how great they are. I hope that helps, Jomer, and thank you for some amazing questions.
Great way to finish our session. Very powerful statements. And again, for all the people who tuned in with us, we are grateful for you taking the time to be with us. And if you are watching this later, again, please do let us know. Give us your comments. What are your takeaways? Because me and Frankie do watch those. And if you have any suggestions in how we can continue to serve you better, please send those comments as well. And if you have ideas, certain ideas, that subject or topic that you want us to tackle, we're open for those as well. Frankie are here to serve you. Let's continue to serve each other, to grow each other. Let's continue to learn and let's make sure that we let each other know that we love each other, we appreciate each other. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and see you guys in our next session. Have a beautiful day, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye now. Thank you, Joel, my dear friend. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, my dear
Thank you.
friend.